Welcome back everyone to my channel. Today I'm going to film my very first plan with me, and it's going to be over the week of December 12th through the 18th. And as you will notice, I like to post-plan versus pre-plan. This is just a method that works for me, and I use my planner as more of a memory keepsake. So in this week's spread, I decided to use a Happy Planner kit out of my booklet, and I wanted to use this kit before the end of the year because it's a very Christmassy themed kit. It's very red and green, and for the next week and the following week, I already have a kit planned out for those 2 weeks. So I wanted to go ahead and give this one a shot. So to start off with, I'm going to start with the sidebar, and I'm going to take this white washi glitter tape, and I'm just going to line that up with the bottom of that calendar that's already printed on the page. And in order to cut this, I use a straight edge like a plastic card, and then I also use a tool that I got from my Silhouette machine when I purchased it, which has a really sharp end, so I just use that to score the tape, and I do that about twice, and then I'll be able to rip up the tape and it'll have a clean edge. Something I like to do on my sidebar is put a quote down. So here I chose one from the kit, and it just says, "Do more with less." And I make sure that when I place it down, I cover the notes that's already printed on the page, and I make sure that I leave the bottom half not on the page so I can stick a little bit more washi on the bottom, and I can make a little border around the quote. And without realizing, I put too much washi tape underneath the sticker, and I also forgot that I could have put the sticker down before I cut this tape, and so that's what I'm doing here. But I realized that I put too much washi, so I'm lifting that up now, and I'm just gonna lower the washi tape so that there's an even border on both sides. So personally for me, I like to keep a little checklist on the sidebar, and it kind of just sums up all the goals that I have for that week. So here I'm just placing a sticker that says this week, and I know it's kind of white, but I like to white space plan so it doesn't really bother me. And beneath that, I'm going to place a red heart checklist. And I know people don't like the little lines in the background, but for me, it doesn't really bother me. So I'm just going to go ahead and place that down. And then I realized that it was a little bit crooked, so I'm just going to lift it up, and then I'm going to replace it down, and hopefully this time around it will be a little straighter. And in order to block that little section off to its own, I'm going to place this glitter tape right below it, and I'm going to use a straight edge and my pointy tool to just cut off the edge. Below the glitter tape, I didn't really know what to do next there, and I didn't have any habit trackers or deco to put there, so I'm just going to leave it blank for now and I'll come back to it later. So moving on, I decided to go to the kit and start scoring some banners for the headers that I'll be needing to cover up since they are colored in the Happy Planner. So I just went to some of the patterns that were available, and I just started scoring typically the same size as a border. So to start off Monday, I went ahead and took this green header and I just placed that underneath Monday. And then I went into a different Happy Planner booklet and I took out this arrow sticker, and it just says steps on it, but I don't actually track my steps. So I'm just going to use an asterisk dot to cover up the steps. And there I'm just going to put that I needed to pack my lunch. Then I went into one of my little booklets and I found a work sticker, and I chose the green one so that it would match the kit, and it doesn't fit perfectly inside the box, but I go ahead and center it, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill it out, and I'm just going to write in there that I needed to pack lunch and also that I worked from 11 a to 11 p. And I totally forgot that I had to make a checklist, so I'm just going to replace that red and white header that I just put down with this green one that says important. And then below that, I'm going to go ahead and put a white checklist, and I'm going to go ahead and fill it out by putting some of the tasks that I needed to get done that day. Going back to my kit, I'm going to go ahead and cut out a relatively bigger box, more like half a box, and I'm going to place that down right below my checklist. And here I'm just going to mark that I went to a blood drive to donate blood. Flipping through my books, I also found this little weighing machine sticker, and I decided to use that just because I had it, and I just wrote down blood drive at 2:45. Later on that evening, I really didn't have anything else planned, so I went ahead and trimmed that header because it was a little crooked, and I just placed it down in the middle of that white space, and I chose this little quote that was in the kit, and I just placed it there. Then moving on to Tuesday, I decided to start off again with another header, and I just chose a different color this time that was not green, and I just placed that right below Tuesday. And for the rest of Tuesday, the first part at least, is exactly the same as Monday. I just went ahead and found the asterisk dot and put that to cover the steps, and then I also wrote down pack lunch. And instead of using a green work sticker, I went ahead and used a yellow one just so that there was a different color. And then of course I wrote down 11A to 11P. And I'm sorry that my camera cut out right here, but all I did was put down a red and white header, and then I went ahead and put down the glitter tape, and I'm just gonna go ahead and layer two of them, one on top and then one on the bottom. And here I'm just gonna put a longer quote just because I didn't want to put another checklist right next to a checklist, so I decided to break it up with a quote. So to finish off the day, I decided to use this hustle header and also a red checklist, and I started jotting down some of the things that I really needed to do that day, like check my email, I needed to call Davita, and I also needed to print some coupons for our trip that was coming up, and then I also needed to call the bank. And then I made a mistake. I wrote down PLAP instead of plan. So I went into my sticker book and I found this little sticker that said plan, 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 and I decided to stick it down there. Normally I wouldn't want it to be right there where it was at, but I had really no choice because I couldn't cover it up. So then I just wrote next to it, Dallas trip. And of course for Wednesday, I went ahead and cut out another header and I placed that down. And then the next 2-3 steps are exactly the same as the last 2 days. I found my step sticker and then I put an asterisk dot down. And then of course I put another work sticker and I wrote 11A to 11P and pack lunch. I know this is repetitive, I'm sorry, but these are my most boring days of the week because all I do is work, eat, and sleep. Then in the middle, I just went ahead and used a remember sticker as a header, and I put down another checklist, and then I started to fill it out by doing my normal tasks like checking my email. I had to help one of my coworkers, and then I had a short meeting, and then I also had a follow up with Davita, and then lastly I had to call my mom and my dad. So I decided to take out one of my little stickers from my shop and put down a cell phone. In order to bring in a little bit more color, I decided to put down some laptops in order to just kind of signify that I checked my email, and I really didn't like where I placed them, so I decided to lift them up and then put them on the actual checklist, which looked a lot better. So I went ahead and cut off another header, and I just placed that underneath my checklist. And underneath that, I went ahead and took my glitter tape again and I put that down and I scored it, cut it off. And then I found this little sticker that said date night, and I just put that up in the upper corner because I wanted to write down where we went in the middle. But in order to do that, I needed to cut off another header and place that underneath the heart sticker, and I wrote down where we went. And that just kind of signified that I went out with the hubs. And then below that, I went ahead and took another header and I put it down so that I can place a circle quote right on top of it. So finally, we're moving on to the rest of the week, which is a lot more interesting, I promise. And for the 15th, I just put down the top priority header, And of course, every week I must have a lazy day. And so I decided to put down this quote that said lazy day because what did I do? I slept in, which was awesome. So I just put that down, and then I decided to put down this little sticker that said, "What's for dinner?" because I decided to make homemade pho. And then I decided to put down the hustle header, and I put down a red heart checklist because I wanted to jot down some of the things that I needed to get done on Thursday, which was to call my sister, call my mom, and then I had to call a few other places. So it was basically a day where I had to call a lot of people. And I even found time to repaint my nails, so that was really nice. And of course, to signify that, I decided to find this little nail polish bottle and to place it right there on the side. But that didn't really work out, so I had to white it out, and then of course I wrote the paint nails onto the side. For the next section, I went ahead and put down an important flag or header, and I also put down this polka dotted green box that I've already cut up, but there was still quite a lot of it left. And on top of that, I went ahead and put a lined box sticker, and I just put that on top of it, but I didn't really like where it was placed, so I lifted it up and moved it down. And on my old stickers, I found this fresh press cutout of my shop name, so I peeled that up, put it down because it was for my shop, this list, and so I put down a few of those asterisk dots, and I just put down some of the things that I needed to get done, such as like formatted my kits. I also needed to fix my pictures, and I needed to print and cut and then post some of my pictures and things of that sort. So to start off Friday, I decided to cut up a new header, and I placed it down, and then I realized that I wanted to make a checklist. So I found this other sticker that said one day at a time, but it was a little bit short, so I wanted to stack them on top of each other. And then below that, I went ahead and put down a green heart checklist, and I just jotted down a few things that I needed to get done. But I also wanted to pull in some stickers, so I pulled a car from my utility sheet, and I just put that underneath pump tire. And then I also wanted to pull in some yellow, so I pulled my planner stickers, and I was going to place it there, and then I completely forgot because I actually had to put down a header for the next section first, and then I forgot to put that down until later. So to start off the next section, I go ahead and make a new banner, and I just place that over the color blocked area, and then I go ahead and find a full box to place underneath, and on top of that I place a half box that is lined, and then I use the asterisk dots that are included in the kit to make the bullet points, and then I just jot down a few things that I needed to get done for the shop. And then in order to kind of signify that that was for the fresh press, I found a sticker sheet that had my logo still on there as a sticker, and I just peeled it up and put it down and used it as a kind of like a header for that section. For the rest of the evening, I didn't really know what else I was going to be doing, so I went ahead and just used two headers and I put it down, and then I went ahead and chose one of these circle quotes and I put it down to just kind of signify that I wasn't doing much for the rest of the night anyway. And then below that, I decided to put a glitter little banner just so that I can kind of mark down that I needed to just relax for the rest of the night. And before I forget completely, I went back up to the checklist that I made for earlier that day, and I put down the planner sticker that I completely forgot to put down. So I used another one of those steps stickers, and instead of putting an asterisk dot on top of it, I decided to put a little house from my utility sheet once again, and this time I just wrote down relax. For the weekend section, I went ahead and put down the glitter tape, and then I scored it off and cut off the edge, and then I also chose the weekend banner that says love the weekend, and I just placed that down right in the middle. So right beneath the weekend banner on Saturday, I decided to put a half box down, and sometimes when I plan, I'll cut out like a little square off of a glossy sheet of sticker sheet that I don't use anymore, and I'll place that right on top of a patterned box so I can write on top and so that you can actually see what I wrote. but I cut this one a little bit too long, so I just trim off the edge, and I use a Sharpie pen for this, and I just write down early morning fishing because me and the hubs decided to go fishing in the morning just to see if we could get anything, and so I went ahead and just wrote that down. And to further decorate this area, I just went ahead and put down some asterisk dots that I had left over. And as you will see in this next part, I tried to make a checklist, but it did not turn out correctly, and I just was not happy with the way it turned out. So I went ahead and pulled everything back up and put down a full box, and then I put down my header, and that way my header would actually be straight. So instead of using all 6 of the bullet points for this checklist, I decided to cut it into 4, and then I also included 2 of my stickers that I recently released, my film and my edit stickers, and then of course I just filled in the rest with a few things that I wanted to get done. So to start off the next section, I just cut a banner that was a little bit thicker, and I just placed that down right there on top of the color block for Saturday. And I forgot to put this down, but I wanted to put that coffee time sticker right above early fishing. And then I went ahead and put down this cute little page flag quote. And then on the bottom of that, I decided to put a remember header, and I wanted to make another little checklist there for the things that I needed to bring with me to go to my mom's. So I first put down the asterisk dots, and then I just listed a few things that I needed to bring, and I wanted to make sure that I bring laundry, and I also needed to bring some paperwork back to my mom, and then of course I wanted to bring my stickers because I wanted to jot down some notes in my notebook that I have for my shop, and I just wanted to make some really good notes in there about things that I needed to work on. So for Sunday, I went ahead and just put down some glitter tape, and I went ahead and scored it off on the end just to cut it off. And then I wanted to add a quote in there for Family Day because my mom and my dad have something planned for us on Sunday. And so I was looking at these stickers and I was like, it's not cut very nicely. So I just wanted to warn you guys, when you guys go shopping for a Happy Planner booklet, just to make sure that all the cut lines are correct, because this one was obviously not cut correctly, but it's okay, I'm going to use it anyway. And I thought that I wanted it down right there on top of the glitter tape, but then I really didn't like that, so I decided to go back to the kit and pull out another circle quote, and I put that down, and then I put the Family Day right below it. So right below that, I went ahead and put down a top priority header, and I wanted to start a new checklist there, and I left it kind of blank because I really don't know what we're doing on Sunday for sure yet. And so I moved on to the next section, and I just put down another box, and I put a sticker down that is a laundry washer, dryer, whichever, and then I wrote down laundry because I normally do my laundry on Sundays. And then I put down another header that says plan ahead, and this one was mainly for my shop, so I just put down a few asterisk dots, and I just put down my sticker for edit and upload, and then I wrote PWM for plan with me. And then on the bottom I started to write wind down, but I didn't know if that was correct because it looked like wind down, so I didn't really like that. I was kind of like, what did I just write? And so I wasn't very happy with it. And I saw this other sticker in the kit and it says be kind, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and use it. So I just took up the asterisk dot and I just put down the sticker be kind. So for the corner that I really didn't know what to do with, I just put down a half box that was left over from the kit, and then I put down some glitter tape, And then I decided to go through my books and I found this little snowman and I thought it was so cute and it was so festive. So I put that down and then I decorated it with a few more asterisk dots. So to complete the kit, I just went ahead and used up the rest of the asterisk dots all around, and I just kind of put them around the quotes and anywhere where it seemed a little bare. And then I decided to use the washi tape to put down on the bottom of the page as well. And it was so pretty just because it kind of sparkled up the design on the bottom, and I really think it pulled together the entire kit. So I really loved it. That was really a nice touch to the very end. And that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching my first plan with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I was super nervous throughout the whole thing. I even made a few mistakes, as you guys have seen. So I really enjoyed it. I hope to come out with more plan with me's for you guys. If you guys enjoyed it, please do subscribe down below and check out my other videos. And also stop by my shop to see what I have in store. And I will speak to you guys in my next video. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.